When a Love Island couple starts competing against Harry Styles and Megan Thee Stallion for a major Hollywood award, you know something unprecedented is happening. Nick and Olandria, better known as NicOlandria, are not just winning in their reality TV lane anymore. They're stepping into mainstream celebrity territory, and honestly, nobody saw this coming. But here's what makes this story even more fascinating. While they're climbing these charts and breaking these barriers, one of Hollywood's biggest stars just publicly honored Olandria in a way that has the entire internet talking. So, let's break down exactly how this couple went from Love Island contestants to legitimate Hollywood contenders, and why Gabrielle Union's recent tribute to Olandria is causing such a massive reaction. Let's start with the Cosmopolitan Award, because this is where things get really interesting. Cosmopolitan is currently running their competition for the best-known celebrity couple of 2025, and Nick and Olandria received a nomination. Now, you might be thinking, okay, a nomination is nice. But here's the kicker, they are the only couple from Love Island nominated. Actually, they're the only couple from any reality show on that entire list. Everyone else competing is a certified Hollywood A-lister or music industry heavyweight. We're talking about couples like Harry Styles and Zoe Kravitz, Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson, Tiana Taylor and Aaron PL. Even Katy Perry is in the mix. These are household names with decades of fame and industry connections between them. And yet, here are Nick and Olandria, who just came off a reality dating show earlier this year, standing right alongside them. But it gets better. They're not just happy to be nominated, they're actually winning. Every single matchup they've been in so far, they've dominated. When they went up against Tom Holland, Francis, and Maya, they secured 95% of the votes. Not 51%, not a close race. 95%. Then they faced Monica Barbaro and Andrew Garfield, and again, pulled in over 90% of the votes. Their third matchup was against Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. Now, Megan is a 3-time Grammy winner, a cultural icon, millions of fans worldwide. You would think that matchup would at least be competitive. Nope. NicOlandria still got over 90% of the votes. The official winner announcement is coming December 4th, but if the pattern continues, this Love Island couple is about to beat some of the biggest names in entertainment. The comment section under Cosmopolitan's official post is flooded with people saying it has to be NicOlandria, that nobody else even comes close. So, how did we get here? How does a couple from a reality dating show end up outperforming established Hollywood relationships in a major popularity contest? Part of it is their fan base. Their supporters are incredibly active, incredibly loyal, and they show up every single time there's an opportunity to vote or engage. But there's another factor at play here that's just as important, and that's media support. Because it's not just fans pushing NicOlandria forward, major media publications are actively championing them in ways they typically reserve for traditional celebrities. Elite Daily, which is a massive online lifestyle and entertainment publication, literally changed their bio to say they're a NicOlandria stan account. That's not something publications do casually. That's a statement. Vogue, one of the most prestigious fashion magazines in the world, threw shade at Ciara on Olandria's behalf by using the song "Don't You Wish Your Girlfriend Was Like Me" in their content. If you followed the Love Island season, you know exactly what that's about, and Vogue clearly picked a side. When you have media outlets like Vogue and Elite Daily publicly supporting you, that's not just nice press. That's institutional backing. Media controls so much of how celebrities are perceived and how their narratives are shaped. Having that kind of favor gives NicOlandria a massive advantage as they navigate this transition from reality TV to mainstream recognition. Now, let's talk about Gabrielle Union, because this is the moment that really shocked everyone. Gabrielle Union is not someone who does celebrity shoutouts lightly. She's a veteran actress, a powerhouse in Hollywood, someone with a reputation built over decades of work in film and television. She's been in everything from Bring It On to being Mary Jane. She's respected, she's influential, and when she speaks, people listen. So when she decided to honor Olandria for Woman Crush Wednesday, the internet collectively lost its mind. Olandria herself couldn't believe it. She responded saying someone should pinch her, which, honestly, fair reaction. But what Gabrielle wrote about Olandria was not just a quick shout-out or surface-level praise. She went deep. She called Olandria the kind of woman who walks into a moment and turns it into a movement. She acknowledged that after Love Island, Olandria didn't just ride the wave of fame. She stepped into her purpose and used every opportunity to build something bigger than fame itself. Gabrielle specifically praised Olandria's connection to Tuskegee University, where she graduated. She said Olandria is shaping her brand with intention, integrity, and a vision that belongs only to her. That's high praise coming from someone like Gabrielle Union. What really stood out in Gabrielle's message was how she talked about Olandria's commitment to uplifting HBCUs, historically Black colleges and universities. She said Olandria does more than represent her HBCU roots. She elevates them. Every interview, every appearance, every platform becomes a chance to remind the world of the brilliance that HBCUs cultivate. That's not something you see a lot in reality TV fame trajectories. Most people come off these shows, try to capitalize on their 15 minutes, and move on. Olandria is actively using her platform to shine a light on her community and her roots, and Gabrielle Union recognized that. Gabrielle also addressed the criticism Olandria has faced. She mentioned people misreading her confidence, misunderstanding her ambition, dealing with commentary that could have shaken her spirit. But instead of letting that noise break her down, Olandria let it sharpen her. She speaks clearly, stands tall, and shows exactly what it looks like to be confident, complex, and proudly Black in public. Gabrielle ended her tribute by calling Olandria a reminder that grace is strength, ambition is beautiful, and being yourself is more than enough. She told her to keep rising, keep shining, and keep showing us how womanhood and purpose move together. That's the kind of recognition you don't get unless you're doing something truly special. Gabrielle Union doesn't hand out those kinds of tributes to just anyone. For her to publicly honor Olandria like that signals that Olandria has caught the attention of Hollywood in a very real way. Olandria responded with genuine gratitude, saying Gabrielle had no idea how much that made her entire day, thanking her for seeing her, supporting her, and speaking life into her journey. It was a beautiful exchange, and it showed that Olandria, despite all her success and confidence, still appreciates being recognized by someone she clearly looks up to. But Gabrielle Union isn't the only person giving Olandria her flowers. Zach, who was also on Love Island, recently did a podcast interview where he talked about his experience with Olandria during the show, and people are loving how respectfully he speaks about her. Zach admitted that he initially picked Olandria as his couple over Amaya. He said from watching clips of her before the show, she seemed very sophisticated, very grown. He was drawn to her energy, even though she was strongly coupled up with Taylor at the time. Zach is the kind of guy who goes for what he wants regardless, and he went for Olandria. What's interesting is how Zach described talking to her. He said she was a really nice person, very well-spoken, but very sturdy. She gave nothing away. And then, he admitted something that not a lot of guys would admit on a podcast. He said he doesn't usually get nervous speaking to women, but when he was talking to Olandria, he felt nervous. He felt like he was speaking to a woman, not just another contestant. That distinction is important. Throughout the interview, Zach kept referring to Olandria as a woman, while he called Amaya a girl. No disrespect to Amaya at all, but the language Zach used reveals how Olandria carried herself. She commanded a different kind of respect, a different energy. People in the comments picked up on that immediately and praised Zach for recognizing it. Zach said they had great conversations, but it felt more like a friendship than a romantic connection. He could tell Olandria wasn't fully opening up to him in that way. Meanwhile, with Amaya, he saw someone who was very sweet, very trying, someone looking for love with her whole heart. He ended up coupling with Amaya, and they seem happy. But the way he talks about Olandria shows that even back then, people could sense she was operating on a different level. That maturity, that poise, that self-assuredness is part of what has made her so successful after the show. So let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture. What we're witnessing with NicOlandria is not just a couple getting famous after reality TV. We're watching them break into a space that's usually closed off to people from their background. Reality TV stars, especially from dating shows, typically get pigeonholed. They do club appearances, sponsored posts, maybe a clothing line if they're lucky. Very few make the jump to being taken seriously by mainstream media and Hollywood insiders. But NicOlandria is doing exactly that. They're competing for awards against legitimate celebrities. They're getting honored by Hollywood royalty, like Gabrielle Union. Major media publications are openly standing them. That doesn't happen by accident. Part of it is timing. Part of it is their chemistry and authenticity as a couple. Part of it is how they've each handled their individual platforms. Olandria's commitment to representing her HBCU and uplifting her community gives her substance beyond just being a reality TV personality. Nic, for his part, has been equally strategic and thoughtful in how he's navigated his post-show career. Together, they've created something that feels genuine and aspirational, and audiences are responding to that in a massive way. There's also something to be said about representation. Seeing a Black couple from a reality dating show get this level of mainstream recognition matters. It challenges the idea that certain types of fame are only accessible to certain types of people. It shows that with the right combination of authenticity, strategy, and support, you can rewrite the rules. NicOlandria is proving that reality TV doesn't have to be a ceiling. It can be a launch pad if you use it correctly. The December 4th award announcement is going to be huge. If NicOlandria wins, and based on the voting patterns so far, it looks very likely they will, that's going to be a defining moment. It'll cement their status as more than just Love Island winners. It'll position them as a legitimate power couple in the entertainment industry. And with people like Gabrielle publicly supporting them, the doors that could open next are limitless. We could see brand partnerships at a whole different level. We could see acting opportunities, hosting gigs, production deals. The trajectory they're on right now is pointing toward long-term success, not just a flash-in-the-pan moment of fame. So, what do you think? Are you rooting for NicOlandria to win this Cosmopolitan Award? Do you think they're genuinely breaking barriers? Or is this just a moment that'll fade? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I want to hear what you think about all of this. And if you've been following their journey and want to see more updates on how they're navigating Hollywood, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss anything. This is just the beginning for them, and something tells me we're going to be talking about NicOlandria for a long time to come.